Bitch, jump in that fire.
Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about tarot cards. What are they? How do they work? And how do you read them? First off, bear with me because I don't know where I put my microphone at, so hopefully the video doesn't have too much of an echo. You can still understand what I'm saying. But anyways, tarot cards are a tool that you use to gain insight into whatever situation you might be in, or they're used to pretty much answer any question that you may have in regards to your life, any problem you may have, how to solve it, and things like that. And even if you want to look into the lives of others. Now, the thing with how they work, this varies depending upon who you talk to. Some people say it's because a spirit is making certain cards be pulled out or jump out. Some say it's your subconscious mind or it's your intuition that's aiding you in pulling the correct cards. It really depends on who you ask. In my personal experience, I believe that it is no different than when you use a crystal ball, whatever. I believe you are intuitively using your spiritual gifts to pull the correct cards, using your subconscious mind to pull the correct cards, whatever. Just like with a crystal ball, your subconscious mind is creating images. It's not so much a spirit is making you see something, more so you are intuitively seeing what it is you're supposed to be seeing. These tools are all pretty much the same in regards to Ouija board, tarot cards. All of it's pretty much the same. Pendulum, however you say it, all is really the same in their own ways. When it comes to reading tarot cards, you have two different types of readers. You have a reader who has done nothing but read books and looked up the meanings in regards to what each tarot card means, and then you have your spiritual reader, the one who is intuitive, has high intuition, and they can read cards without ever having to look back at the book to know what each card means. I say for a beginner, it is completely okay to look at the definitions of what each card means on a very basic level, but don't solely go off of the book knowledge of what the book says that each card means, because as you mature when it comes to using these cards, you will realize that a card for you might mean something completely different from somebody else's card, even if you guys pull the same card. So for example, let's say you pull the devil card. The devil card might mean something completely different from you and your experience than it might mean for someone else. So it really depends on the person's level of experience, because with experience you begin to see that each card might have a completely different meaning from what the book says it is. There's no card in the deck that typically talks about pregnancies and things of that nature, but from my experience, from seeing certain people get pregnant after seeing a specific card pop up, I know, when I see this card, it typically means somebody's gonna get pregnant, even though in the book it might say something completely different. And this is what separates the book reader and the person who reads through experience and through insight as well, because this type of reader typically has more, it's not so basic, it's not so vague. You're gonna get a lot more out of it than the person who just read the book knowledge. The person who got the book knowledge is gonna give you very little words in regards to explaining what it is that they're seeing with the cards, because they're not getting any form of images in their mind, they're not hearing anything, they don't have any form of clairsentience, or they're not an empath. So you're not going to get much out of the reading than what has been written by other people for the past couple of 100 years or 1,000 years, however long these cards really been around. So yeah, keep that in mind. Ask a person how do they read. Are they a spiritual intuitive reader? Do they have spiritual gifts, or are they going off of book knowledge? And even if they don't tell you their honest answer, you will most definitely be able to tell by what you're getting out of the reading. A person who reads spiritually, you're gonna be told a lot of things that you haven't even told anybody else. This person's gonna know things about you that you haven't told anyone else. They're gonna know things to come, know things that's probably happened in the past, or know what is going on at the current moment that the other reader who reads from the books isn't gonna know. Another thing with this spiritual reader, I would say, is that they are capable of reading without even having to look at the cards. I remember, I believe this probably was like 2 years ago. I was training a friend of mine in how to read tarot cards, and she was basically reading them all off of book knowledge. So I told her, I was like, okay, your readings they're good, but it's very vague. So I challenged her to close her eyes and try to get me to reading that way. So now basically all she's going to see is, or basically all she's going to do is rely off of her spiritual gifts and see whatever she needs to see, hear whatever she needs to hear, instead of looking at the pictures and giving me what it is that she's read in the book. Do you know that that reading was a lot more complex, a lot more accurate than what she gave me the first time, because she was just reading the books? When you challenge yourself to read these tarot cards with just your intuition, just with the first thoughts that might come in your mind, with whatever gifts you might have, whatever, you will begin to see that you get more out of the reading than, like I said, just using the book knowledge. Another thing to note is that in my experience, I've noticed that in regards to, let's say, the pictures on these tarot cards, because a lot of people wonder where do these pictures come from? What is the even meaning behind them? Do they have any form of deep mysticism or deep occult meaning behind these pictures? I would say these pictures, the pictures in tarot cards, are no different from the pictures that you look at when we're working with spirits. If you're a person who's deep into mysticism, deep into understanding how voodoo works and working with spirits, you know that every picture that you see of a spirit basically allows you to tap into a specific reality and an energy that is withheld within that reality that's in that picture. So for example, the picture of Anima Sola, when you use that picture, you are making contact with a reality that is associated with the purgatory. So when you are reading these tarot cards, a lot of times if you close your eyes, you can feel the energy coming from the photos off of the cards, and that allows you to read them without even having to look at them, without even having to turn the picture over. You already know what card it is or what type of energy the card resonates with just based off of reading the energy coming from the picture. That's a little hard concept to understand, but like I said, if you understand working with spirits and you understand how photos hold, are basically gateways to different realities, then you understand what I'm saying. It's pretty much, if you watch the movie Narnia, you get what I'm saying. So that's all for this video. Like, share, and subscribe.